Let's talk about Fauci. So one day before President Trump took office, Dr. Fauci gave a speech warning all of us that Trump would have to deal with a cataclysmic pandemic. This was the day before Trump was sworn into office. He was warning us that the greatest crime in world history was about to happen. We should have been paying attention, but we weren't. Watch.
Is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
Oh, there will be a surprise.
Surprise.
There will be a surprise outbreak.
He's not like saying some data shows that this is possible. Some data concludes that we may see this. It seems highly likely. No, he says will.
And you see it in his face. Like, you know, that's a guy that knows, like, this is about to happen, right? He's like convicted. Like, this will happen.
Yeah,
this is going to happen.
Confidently.
So he knew what was about to come, right? After all the funding that he provided in Wuhan, like, he knew about all of this. He tried to cover it up, lie about it, lied to Congress about it, if you remember this.
I don't know how many times I can say it, Madam Chair. We did not fund gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Oh, yeah. That was a lie, right? Because when we walked it back, we knew exactly what happened. There was funding of that, and had to walk that back. Well, Twitter is about to drop the Fauci files, right? And that's why the mainstream media is helping to mount a Fauci charm offensive. Look, he's been retired for a week. His last day on the office was what? December 30th, right? December 30th was his last day. So he's been gone for 7 days, and he's already back on television. He's already back. CBS drags him out to do a whole big interview with him ahead of the release of the Fauci files. And the whole thing was like a tee-up for him to make him look good. Help him out as much as possible. Fauci is out trying to discredit the Fauci files before they're even released. So here he is answering, like, what does Elon Musk have on you on CBS? Watch.
Another headline I saw this week. Elon Musk says he'll release Fauci files on Twitter this week. That story published January 3rd. We are recording this, let me double check my watch, January 5th. What are your concerns, if any, about the Fauci files on Twitter?
Well, A, no concerns, and B, I have no idea what he's talking about. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation, conspiracy theories, disinformation going on
and
out there.
Elon Musk also said that you should be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's talking about there?
I don't have a clue of what he's talking about.
Well, as near as I can tell, Dr. Fauci, it is about the idea that the National Institutes of Health funded gain-of-function research, some of that at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and that, some believe, is responsible for COVID.
Well, if you look at first of all, collaborative research internationally has been something that has been extremely beneficial to society in general. The reason a very small grant, about $120,000 a year, was given to the Chinese, which, as a matter of fact, resulted in research that was...
Oh, but I thought you just told us in front of Congress that there was no fund for this.
I don't know how many times I can say it, Madam Chair. We did not fund gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
All right, babe. So
go, babe.
I know. You got that Rona?
You just have...
You know that saying? It's that Rona, right? Yeah. Hey, what is it? We've been... I feel like, honestly, we've had it like 3 times now. And we've also been vaccinated twice, which is the crazy thing that, like, I don't get, you know? Even like right now, like, say for example, like now, I don't know what it is, but like...
The respiratory infection from Cleveland. That's like, a Cleveland cold, though. That happens.
Yeah, but a cold
I was tested.
Does not last. Even the flu
I was
don't last
tested for the
like
flu,
2-3
too.
weeks.
For the flu and that, it's just...
Yeah, you know, but like...
So I was told, basically, you have bad lungs. I'm like, I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Right? Whoops.
Yeah, it's like, you know, everything, like, you know, but nobody is mentioning this. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why we are doing this, so that way we give people a way to speak up when there's no other outlet to speak on issues that the news and so-called powers that be or whatever you want to call it.
I'm gonna spoke
that
for who would
are scared
these times
to mention.
women.
We can say whatever you want to say.
I think women. We put our big girl pants on, stayed strong for our children, tried to downplay what was a very scary thing for them and a huge change, and even scarier if you got very sick. I was the first one to tell myself, you're manifesting this, you are perpetuating
And you were super active when we first met.
Yeah,
you
totally.
You was active.
A 12, haul a tart, clean, pull out, cart, yes.
Yeah,
it was just the regular grind of a day.
Yeah. And you know what?
And then
I really want people to understand that what we have experienced and people that we have spoke with has also had different type of issues, what is it, like random seizures out the blue.
Well, that's women.
Is that okay? So do you think it's just more push towards women on that, on the Rona?
I'm the last one to want to bring it up as a topic of, I think that's in our nature to just push it. Okay, it happened, it came, it went.
Right now is the time to talk about it.
Slowly.
Nobody else is.
Right. Until randomly it comes up. For example, the neighbor had to push.
Oh, the girl you
That's why
to.
Hi, Coop. Yes.
Yeah.
Scoop do. She had to push back Christmas because her son was sick.
Yeah.
Okay. So enter the topic of the vid. The taboo. So here we are talking. Hi, Coop. He's like, I saw it all.
Service dog.
Yeah. We'll touch on that too.
Yeah.
Turns out, and not the first or second or third woman, maybe not seizure, because I've never had a seizure in my life. Could be gone. Healthy my whole life. After COVID, my period stopped for a year.
Yeah.
For no reason. Just
and we
was
even
there?
asked the doctor about it.
Yeah.
The doctors even act like. The thing that gets me is
same period since I had.
They see multiple people with the same symptoms, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to say nothing about it. It's like they just bite their tongue, or it feels like they're being told to not speak on it.
I think that in general, doctors are trying to, they're doctors by nature, they want to help people. I think that they don't want to, cause mass hysteria, really.
Which is already mass hysteria.
I mean, it ate holes through people's hearts and.
Exactly.
So when randomly it comes up, I'm not the only one who just started having seizures for not on hard drug for no reason. And who knows what came first, the chicken. Now my back, I know I've fallen out alone. Thank you, Coop.
Service dog.
Scrape me off the ground. He just knows. Those two things.
That's what we're doing.
Are the most prevalent.
People need to know.
Women need to know that they're not crazy. They're not manifesting it in their head. that there are other females going through this. Like a doctor may say you lost or missed your period because of stress, which, fair enough. It's been a stressful time for all of us. It's a time.
But it's not gonna, stress
Right.
don't make you have a seizure.
But of all,
You know what I mean?
if I
If
looked
you
at
never
all
had
the
seizures
stress
before,
in my life, like,
or just collapse. Like if
How-
they cut us off of YouTube, I
I
don't care. This needs to be spoken on, and you know what I mean. It needs to be.
this is
brought
just a
up.
conversation. We're just sharing our story.
Yeah, it
I'm not
needs to be
trying
brought
to
up.
point fingers or. That's all I can do. I'm looking at you, and I told you this. All I can do is give you my first-hand account. Like, I have no MO or agenda aside from maybe helping a woman that felt, and I'm sorry, I don't mean, it seems to be women though who have taken the brunt of it. Right. I've been put through MRIs, probed.
Yep.
I feel like a guinea pig now. I'm at that point where I believe doctors want to help me. I am the last one to want to go to a hospital. I'd sooner super glue or duct tape a limb back on and just, whatever. Natural childbirth. It hurt.
Duct tape is pretty good though.
Yeah, if you can't duck it.
Well, if you can't duck it, fuck it, huh?
Duct tape
Hey,
and
we can
zip
curse
ties.
here. Like, come on, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Shoot. Hey, this is us talking, and if other people don't want to
I'm
hear the
exhausted,
goddamn
yeah.
truth, it's the fucking truth. You know what I mean? Shoot, we speaking on what needs to be spoken on. We'll take these out there.
Yeah, it's so much easier that way.
Yeah.
That Arco was throwing me. Doctors have told me there are units devoted solely to long haulers.
Where's your taste buds?
Good question.
How do taste buds?
Growing up in a Sicilian family, garlic. It depends. I don't know. Everything seems to taste like cardboard or metal.
Yeah.
Aside from the smoke, it's delicious.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, that's what it's about lately,
What else can you do?
Man, but in fact, anybody else that's actually listening to us right now and actually
Salt.
understand what's going on, feel free to go ahead and drop a comment at the bottom, because
I'll say
I'm sure
Cooler
it's
Ranch
not
does
just
not.
us.
Cooler Ranch Doritos do not taste
Cool
much
Ranch
cooler.
Doritos? Yeah,
No,
I know.
Cooler Ranch.
Yeah.
Salt, and is that healthy for? I don't know. Is salt healthy for?
No,
It don't really
gotta
taste
keep
salt.
You gotta keep adding salt. It's like normally you put a pinch of salt, now you gotta put 5 pinches
Yeah,
to make it for that 1 pinch that you would normally.
it's like the two things that are supposed to be not great for your health: salt and sugar. Voila, we can't take.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the seizures, which, wow, turns out not the only girl, and this is a first-hand, just came up randomly, mano a mano with another, just all of a sudden had a seizure.
Yeah.
Just
random.
No, not to, judge, no drug habits, nothing.
That's the thing.
Just
that's
an
really
onset seizure.
Why is the news not talking about it?
I have a life of.
That bothers me.
I'm not the epitome of health, but I'm healthy. All my vitals are perfect.
Well, that's what, why is.
Aside from the cervical strain, which I think
the
came
media
from me falling.
not talking about it? The media is just skipping this whole step that everybody is going through right now.
I'm tough. Girls, women, you're not alone in this, and you're not the only one. You're not crazy. You didn't manifest it. You're not under stress and losing your mind. Legitimately, there are many women and a handful
That we have
that
more.
I can
Yeah.
personally vouch for first-hand basis. Not trying to talk about COVID. It just came up. Even my doctor. I'm not the first.
And they ended up with
Our hormones.
Just
We
collapse.
don't know.
Yeah.
You can't blame a vaccine. You can't blame. These things happened to me after I had COVID, and I follow the rules. All the protocol. I have a daughter. I was more than safe. I had, God rest, a grandmother, compromised, couldn't have been safer. At the same time, I know I have family members who lived, ate, shared a bed with someone who had COVID and didn't get it. After 3 weeks of hell-ish, we all know it could get worse. Roberto, you were there. You had to pull me off. I had to sit in the shower.
No, yeah, it was longer for you. Like the first time time it took. Well, it was probably like it took me like what about 5 days, 4 or 5 days, and then you were like about a week and a half.
This was
on the first time we had COVID.
This was right after following all the rules. I remember that New Year's Eve, my daughter, we were celebrating at home, quarantining. A few days after that, we hadn't been anywhere. We were just at home on a computer. It's out there somewhere. A few days after that, I remember ushering her out. Not ushering her out, but calling her father and saying, I don't feel well. Please take care of her. She was on winter break. So after that, we had like the same onset symptoms. The stomach thing was weird. They didn't tell us about that. Yeah, remember that? There was like a day, the stomach thing too.
Yeah, it was like a stomach flu.
Yeah.
No, I think that was included with that. Yeah, with that COVID, yeah.
I would never.
That COVID is horrible. Like, if y'all never had it, I'm sure majority of people in the world that has had it. If not, they know someone that has had it.
I've had a worse flu, but it didn't last
long like that.
And it's like omnipresent. We had the same onset symptoms. And I remember it was, what were they saying? It was like 10 days, whatever.
Quarantine.
I remember going to get the test to prove that my daughter was safe to come home. And this was pushing 3, 4, almost a month.
This is after.
Almost a month. And I tested.
And I still tested positive for COVID.
This was at, I'm talking like, didn't shower for days. I couldn't eat. I couldn't. I was hallucinating.
Stuck on the couch.
I was stuck on the couch.
Yeah.
You had to literally pick me up and put me in the shower, turn on the water. Couldn't even stand. You forced me to, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Had pumped myself full of vitamin C. Did everything organic, I eat organic. I don't know. Tea, honey, I don't know what else
and
we could have done.
That's why we're talking about it now, because nobody mentions it.
And my daughter was fine. I would never say she brought it to us or you. There is just no common denominator. You just cannot not put it in a nutshell. Like, you cannot apply that to every person, There's no, like, algorithm or whatever you want to call it.
And do you remember how bad it was whenever people, there were some people that was vaccinated, other people that wasn't. and then like everybody fighting. Like, you know, it's like, and you know what? Matter of fact, you have to get
And we
6
did-
feet. Why you so close over it? Like,
Right.
you have to
But
get 6 feet.
But at the same time, my uncle,
shit.
who was next to my aunt, who was very sick, also didn't get
Didn't
it.
get it, yeah.
Didn't test positive. They eat the same, cook together, sleep together, live together. I mean, no rhyme or reason about it. I think that as we, as a collective, try to err on the side of precaution, and it just, oof.
And that being said,
Our kids too.
anybody that's listening, if y'all are listening, go ahead and drop a comment and leave your story, because
Right.
we need
The long-
this to be out, because no one has the balls to speak on it.
Girls,
you know what I mean?
you're not
Hey,
alone.
I don't give a damn. I'm speaking on it because we're living through it, and shoot, hey, we only have one life.
I'm not trying to milk the
We have
long
one life.
haulers. I'm fingers crossed, okay. I don't know if I'll ever feel the same. And still in my mind, I'm like, it's a, everyone say it's social experiment, you're just making it up, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, and still,
But it's
I sleep for
honesty.
days.
It's honesty, and it's reality.
I'm in pain all the time. Like,
And never was before, though. That's the thing.
yeah, I have seizures to the point where my arms cramp up and invert, like something out of a horror movie. I couldn't do it. I could always, I play, I'm a musician, I'm plants, and to see your whole, that's a whole nother thing. To have just parts of you go numb and feel like this is it. Like you're to be, I was told I died.
Yeah, just in my arms, And I'm holding you. I see you turn white, and guess and what I did, I screamed to Jehovah. I called Jehovah's name. Within like half a second after I said Jehovah's name, you said, "Ooh," you know what I mean?
God
Came
just
right
what?
back just like that, That's hey,
I didn't
I'm
have,
holding you like this, like you know
and
what I mean?
I'm not, and
And I screamed Jehovah's name, you know what I mean?
no drugs, no, smoke a little, nothing. I wasn't you. Nothing. I mean, I'm all for a party, but this is not the case. This is not like a
Hey, I'm glad we did this because
a fentanyl
I'm glad
laced
we did
batch
this.
of weed. Get
Yeah.
out of here with that.
I'm glad we
I
did.
woke up a week later in the hospital,
Yeah.
and then went home.
On the way, we left the hospital,
You picked me up,
and we was leaving the hospital
right?
and going to CVS to get your prescriptions, and you had another seizure. As soon as we
Whatever
left
that
the
got,
hospital,
which I don't
I'm
like.
driving.
it
The
too.
next thing you know,
I remember just feeling.
that's the
I
scary
remember
feeling, though.
feeling.
I remember seeing
and
it,
then
you know?
I have to live with knowing that you saw that, which is like, that's how hard is that to feel like you're a burden on somebody you love, like
Yeah,
to
you
feel.
ain't no burden, baby. You know
No,
that.
but I'm telling you that is part of it. To
Yeah,
feel
it's
like,
called life, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Shit,
I
right?
get that.
If you with someone,
That's
you with
a-
them 100%, or you don't. You know what I
Right,
mean?
for
And
sure.
That's how I am. Like, you know what I mean? I don't do a half-ass, and that's just how it is. And that's why I feel, I felt it in my gut today that I wanted to do this, intentionally just for
women though out there,
people
especially.
to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Because nobody has the balls to speak of it. You know what I mean? Hey, and I don't care if they can cut me off. And
Because
do
we
whatever.
don't. We
You know
just
what I mean?
tough up. Buck up. We just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
It's just in our nature, really.
Something with that COVID has done that. Like okay.
Yeah.
We have been watching Redacted, right? That's why that's what like sparked
Yeah.
what my thoughts on the whole idea. You know what I mean? So it's like that one guy, Fauci. And then I just want to say this real quick, and then we can go ahead and
I don't
back
like
off.
to name names, but
No, but
I don't know.
his name is Fauci.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know him.
Well,
I know what you're
I'm
talking
saying
about,
yeah,
but-
but everybody been watching him when COVID started, all the way to the end of it. My point is, what I'm trying to get to is, this dude literally just lied to everyone as well as he lied to Congress. Like right there, like you know what I mean? Like there's no other way to explain it no more. It's just like point blank lie. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like
Blaming isn't gonna fix though.
Okay, hey, but they gotta start somewhere. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
We gotta start somewhere.
Liars are to be expected.
You know what I mean?
Unfortunately,
They gotta start somewhere.
Headline I saw this week. Elon Musk says he'll release Fauci files on Twitter this week. That story published January 3rd. We are recording this, let me double check my watch, January 5th. What are your concerns, if any, about the Fauci files on Twitter?
Well, A, no concerns, and B, I have no idea what he's talking about. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation, conspiracy theories, disinformation going on
And of
out
course,
there.
Elon Musk also said that you should be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's talking about there?
I don't have a clue of what he's talking about.
Well, as near as I can tell, Dr. Fauci, it is about the idea that the National Institutes of Health funded gain-of-function research, some of that at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and that, some believe, is responsible for COVID.
Well, if you look at first of all, collaborative research internationally has been something that has been extremely beneficial to society in general. The reason a very small grant, about $120,000 a year, was given to the Chinese, which, as a matter of fact, resulted in research that was...
Oh, but I thought you just told us in front of Congress.